Hello and welcome to this new Android development tutorial. This is part 3 of how to make a video player application for Android. In previous tutorial, we created a list view with indexes that goes from 0 to 99. In this tutorial, we will actually list the files and add the files to the list view. The video files. Okay, to do this we go to our main activity.java file, and right here before the underscore method we will, as you remember, we created this object right here, the videos list. So we want these to be accessed from outside the underscore method. For that we will delete these lines because this was just for testing. Now we can delete these lines and we will create a new method here that will be fill videos list. For that we're going to say private void fill videos list, and we will open a bracket right here. And before this method we will create the global variable, the list. So we go and say private list of private list of strings, and we call these videos list, as you can see right there. And here inside the filled videos list we will get the videos list of the device and just fill it here. So here when we initialize this we will just do this one time inside the underscore method. So here we will go and say videos list to new list of string. I did something wrong right here. So videos list should be equal to new array list. Yeah, okay, that's better. Okay, right now we have initialized that, and we have, after we do that, we will call the method. So we're gonna go say fill videos list. Great. Okay, now we're gonna work inside the method itself. To do that, we will first clear the previous content of the video list. So we're gonna say videos list dot clear. Okay, and now we will get the videos files that exist on our device. For that we have to get the path of the device. Okay, so before this thing right here, what we will do is right here create another method which will be called for every directory wants the phone to search. So we're gonna say private void add videos from, and this is a more elegant and simple way of adding videos. So this fields videos list will call the add videos from method, and we have to pass a string that will get the directory path. Okay, so their path, as you can see right there. Now inside the add videos from, we will create a file. So we go and say final file, and right here what we call this file will be videos dir directory. Okay, and we assign this to new file, the path of the directory. as you can see. Now we want to check if that file path exists. If not, we will create it, because maybe the folder was removed or doesn't simply exist. So for that, we're gonna go say if video dir doesn't exist, we will make it. For that, we go to say videos dir that make directory. And if we're making it, it means that it is empty, right? So right here we can just return, okay, because we're just making the path, you know. Okay, great. Or so this is really, we're making the directory because maybe this is a default path, you know, a default path for the videos to be stored. But you don't have to make directory, you can just return here. Okay, but now I think it will be useful to make the directory. Okay, so right now we will create a file array. So go to list the files we find here. For that, we're gonna say final file array. We will call these files, and here we will gonna say videos dir that list files. So this will list all the files in this directory, which is great. Now we're gonna create a for each loop that will test if the file is a video file. Then we will add it to the videos list, you know, as simple as that. So we're gonna say for file semicolon and files right here, so we'll switch into files, and inside this for each loop we're gonna say final string path will be file that get absolute path. Okay, and now we're gonna do the checking right here. We're gonna say if path ends with, so if the path ends with extension of a video, for example that mp4, we will add that path into the videos list. So we're gonna say videos list that add path. As you can see, I am adding the new path to the videos list. Okay, great. So this is basically how we will be adding the videos. And later, right now we have to call that add videos from method. So when we call that add videos from method, we have to know the directory in which we're asking the application to search for videos. Okay, so we're gonna go and say add videos from, so we're in the field videos list method, and we call the add videos from, and we will pass string that value of, and we will pass, we'll get it with environment that get external storage public directory. Okay, so I can put this in a new line in order for you to visualize it better. So get external storage public directory, and we're going to say environment dot directory movies, for example, could be one, or downloads if you want. We can call these several times. So the first one will be movies. Okay, so now we were adding the videos that are on the movies folder, but maybe we also want to add the videos that exist in the download folder. Okay, so I'm gonna, here we will copy the same thing, and we will change movies with downloads. Okay, and maybe we also want to add more videos from the DCIM folder, which are the videos that we record with our camera, for example. So we have 3. You can add more if you want, like documents or something else. may be useful. For now, we will use these three directories. So now when we call fill videos list, which we are calling on the onResume method, right here, as you can see, fill videos list, it will go and check in every one of these directories and will get the videos file, in this case the videos that end with MP4 extension. And when they found these, then it will, as you can see, send the data to the text adapter, so it will be shown on the screen, as you can see right here. So right now we have displayed the videos names on our list view, but we want to play those videos because this is a video player. So to play the videos, we want to know when an item is clicked. So to play a video, we want to know where an item is clicked. To know when an item is clicked, we have to create a click listener on the list view. So we're gonna head and say list view dot set on item click listener new on item click listener. As you can see, the IDE auto generates this code for me, and inside here this method will be called when an item is touched with the user finger, on the touch screen. So when an item is touched, we have to add to play the video, okay? So we haven't created the video player yet. So to go ahead and create video view first, we go to our activity main.xml, and we can do it before list view. So right here we're gonna say we will open an element and type video view, and the width will be match parent, and the height will be 0 dp, and the weight will be 1. But we maybe want it to not be the same weight as the list view. Maybe we want the list view to be a little bit larger, so we'll set the list view weight to 2. As you can see, there we have our video, the list of the videos right here. So this here will be the video, and this down here will be the list of the videos. To access this video view element, we have to check if if it has an ID. So we have to add an ID. So we're gonna say ID, and we'll call this ID video view, as you can see right here. Now if we go to our main activity.java file right here, we have to access this video view before we set the on item click listener. So right here we're gonna type final video view, and we'll call this video view, and this will be set to find view by ID r.id.video view, as you can see. Now we have our video view right here, and if we explore what kind of parameters video view gives us, so video view, as you can see, can have some different parameters. One of them is add subtitle source, can pause, can stick backwards, and as you can see right here appears the explanation of each of those methods that can be called. Okay, we can go and say is playing on touch event. We can pause the video with these controls right here. We can resume the video. We can seek to, which means okay, go to minute 1 second 3 and go to there, for example. Okay, and we can also save this value in order for us to use it later. So if you want to use later, maybe the user leaves the app, and when the user comes back to the app, we want to show where the video was left. So when the video was paused, so we're going to go and seek to the previous point of the video timeline. Okay, so we're gonna here have a set media controller, which is basically the controls that enables us to control the video playback. And here we can have set video URI and set video path. So both of these can be used by us in order for specify the video we want it to play. So yeah, as simple as that. And we also have the start, just to start the video, and stop playback, suspend, and next are kind of more common ones, but the ones that are in bold font are the most important ones. So right now we have all these options right here, but we want to be able to play the video, but as default the video player doesn't have video controls, so we have to add our controls by ourselves. So the controls like says pause and play, the basic video controls. So we have to add those by ourselves. For that, we will create a new Java class that will enable us to do just that. Okay, so we're gonna delete this line. We will leave that video view definition, and we go and open our app element on the left. Open the Java folder and open our name or package name. We will right click on the package name right here, and we will go to new Java class. Okay, and the name of the class, we will give it video controllers maybe. Okay, video controller. Okay, and we're gonna press in OK. So now the video controller class was created by the IDE. So this video controller class will extend the media controller class. For that, we're gonna say extends media controller. Okay, and here it says that we have to implement the constructor and some methods, but we'll do that manually. Okay, so right here, after we defined these, we will define a context that will be used for our app. So you're gonna ahead and say context. We'll call these as a context. Okay, we'll leave it there. It will be a global variable that will be useful for us later. And then we will create the constructor method. For that, we're gonna say public video controller. Okay, and inside this we'll have to pass a context. So context, you can see right here, and here we're gonna call super context. Okay, and right here we have to know where we will be getting the video controllers set up. For that, we will use a frame layout that will enable us to change maybe the size of this view. Okay, great. So for that, we will update the context, the global variable context, with this new context. So to do that, we're going to say this.context, and we'll set that to context. Okay, next we're going to say frame layout, that layout params. As you can see, we'll call this params, and these will be, we will cast these to frame layout, that layout params, as you can see, and this will be set to these that get layout params, as you can see. Okay, great. Now the next thing we're gonna do is that we will get the kind of a density of the metrics in order for us to show the video in a coherent way, you know. So we're gonna go and say display metrics. We call this metrics, and we will set this to get context that get resources that get display metrics. Okay, and now we want to define the device pixels in order for us to set the kind of margins for the metrics and the parameters of all of these. Okay, for that we're gonna go ahead and say okay, we have the metrics right here. We'll create the device pixels. For go say float dp, and these will be equal to 50f, which means float. Okay, then we're gonna say the f pixels, okay, float pixels, that will be the density of the screen times or dp, you know, to kind of create a coherent way of measuring the screen and measuring the size of our media controller, the media buttons. Okay, we will control the video playback. So right now we're gonna say float f pixels. This will be equal to metrics that density times dp. Okay, which was defined previously as 50f. Right now we're gonna go and say int pixels, kind of the amount of pixels we want, and these pixels we are transforming from dp to pixels. We will cast this to int, and this will be equal to open parentheses, which are f pixels, plus 0.5 f. So we are now getting the pixels, and we will create the margins of this. So to do that, we're going to say params that bottom margin will be set to pixels. Why do we do this? Because in some devices we have the navigation bar, and we want to avoid the controller to be shown below it, so we don't want that, of course. So params right margin. So here we want to use this right margin for the same reason for the navigation bar. When we are in landscape mode, navigation bar goes to the right in this case. Okay, in some devices anyway, it won't be for every device. And then as last, we will set the parameters, saying these set layout params to params. And as you can see right now, we have set the parameters of the video controller and all of these. Okay, so right now we have started to implement our video controller. There is another method that we can override right here, which is the set anchor view, which basically enables us to you know, to know when the user wants to change or exit the video. Maybe we're in full screen mode and we want to exit the video, so we want to add kind of an exit button, so exit full screen or something of that sort. You're gonna say override public void set anchor view. We will pass view right here, Don't forget to import the view element, and inside the method we'll call the super method super that set onto view. We'll pass the lowercase view, and now we will create an image button. So we'll create an image button that will enable us to set the view. For that we go and say image button. So this image button will be the button that will enable us to exit the full screen mode. So image button, and will be like exit button, and this will be set to new image button context. Okay, and now we're gonna say exit button that set image drawable, and we will get a drawable using get resources that get drawable, and we'll pass r that drawable that exit. Now we don't have that drawable, but we will create it right now. So to create a drawable, we'll open the res folder. We go and right click on drawable folder, click on new, and click on vector asset. So this is a tool that enables us to create icons that is kind of very useful for Android developers. So we'll click on this button right there, and we will search for a button to exit or something like that. So exit to app, as you can see. So that, or full screen exit can also be useful, you know. So full screen exit, click on OK, and we will change the name to just exit, and we will click on next and finish. And as you can see, the error has disappeared right here, and we have set our image drawable as we want. Okay, great. Now we want to, as the background of this will be black, we want to these also to be black. So for that we're gonna say exit button that set background, and we'll set this to black. For example, we can say color dot black. Okay. We're gonna set the color like this. We maybe have to define a color outside this thing. Okay, let me see. For that we're gonna go and say get resources that get color r.id that, no, r.color actually, that black. Will that work better? Oh, it's not set background, it's set background color. So that was my error. And you can use the previous way or use this way to set the black color. Okay, so we have set the color of the button, and now we're gonna move the button or place the button inside the bar of buttons. For that we're gonna go and say frame layout. Okay, frame layout, that layout params, we will call this params, and we'll set this to new frame layout params, and the first, which is the width, will be set to layout params that wrap content. Okay, so we set this to wrap content, and we also set the height to wrap content. So comma, I will get a new line, and layout params that wrap content. So we pass those two parameters, as you can see right there, and now we also pass the gravity parameter. So on the next line, actually, we're gonna say params that gravity. Okay, and we'll set these to gravity dot right. Okay, so we have set our gravity, and now we have to add the view. For that, we're gonna say add a view, exit button, params. Okay, okay, and now we have to know what do we want to do when we exit these, when we click on this button. For that, we're gonna say exit button that set on click listener, new on click listener, new on click listeners. You can see right here, and inside this, you're gonna create an intent that will go back to the previous activity. So the activity that will play video will be different from the main activity. So we want it to look different, you know, primarily for the full screen video, okay? But we'll be doing tests to define all of this. So we're gonna say intent. We'll call this intent. So remember to import intent. Intent. This will be new intent context, and we will have to kind of say which application we want to open. In this case, will be the main activity app. So you're gonna say main activity, and the main activity. Okay, so you're gonna say main activity that class, because that's the one we want to open. And we're gonna say intent that put extra, and we'll pass a sort of you know, a value that will enable us to know that we're passing an intent from the video activity. So to this file, to define these, we will go to our main activity.java, and inside these, we will create the video activity intent, which is an identifier of the actual intent we're using. Okay, so this video intent will enable us to know where was the app called from. Okay, so we will define that as an integer. Okay, so we go here into main activity and say public final int video activity intent, and this will be defined to 1, 2, 3, for example. Okay, so we go back to the video controller class, and right here when we say put extra, we will say video activity intent. But of course we have to get this, and to get this we have to import these video activity intents. So maybe we will declare this to static. So static public static final video activity intent, and now right here we can import these right here. So you're gonna say make sure we import it correctly. Okay, come example video player, that main activity. Okay, import come that example video player main activity, and here we have to get video intent, video activity intent, video activity intent, So, but this is a static, so we're gonna say import static. So that was what was missing there. So import that static, all of that, and video. Okay, let me see. Video activity intent. As you can see, it's now imported. As you can see, now we have access to that identifier from a different class, and we will pass some value if we want, like returned or something like that. Okay, so we passed the video activity intent and we returned or something like that. Okay. Okay, there's some error right here that says that we are not able somehow to do this. Let me see. String value off. Video activity intent. Oh, this is not an integer, isn't a string really. But well, we can leave it as it is because it doesn't really matter. And now we're gonna say context that start activity intent. Okay, this will go back to the activity that was called. Okay, as you can see, right now we have some sort of error right here. It says surround with array initialization. So apparently in these new versions of Android we have to create a sort of array of intents or something like that. But well, it doesn't really matter for us, so we create it. And so we have finished setting up our video controller, and in the next video we will be ready to use it into our video player. I hope you enjoyed the video and I see you in the next one. Bye.